Hi everybody, this is Jimmy Valentine. Now this is going to be a review of Marvel Legacies #1 and Mr. Miracle #1 and 2. It's going to be a spoiler review, so just the non-spoiler. I would say Marvel Legacies is okay and does some good. It's a good groundwork to maybe do some good things. And Mr. Miracle, you've you've probably seen a lot of praise. It's been sold out in a lot of places. It's done multiple runs. It's good, but it's a little bit of a retread. So let's get into Marvel Legacies first, and then we'll talk about Mr. Miracle. So Marvel Legacy is basically Marvel partially admitting that they fucked up really bad in the last few years with their new Marvel relaunch, reboot, trying to kill off the regular characters and trying to put new characters in their place, with a lot of pushback from traditional fans and a lot of fighting. Now, to me, the biggest issue has been that the characters that have been launched have just been poorly written. They have good concepts or maybe good conceits for characterization, but none of them have been written well. So that's been a real point of contention in both the fan base and the publishers and the writers. So the three big things that happen in this story are we get to see regular Steve Rogers is back and no Manning marauding over the country. We don't know where he's going to head to. We have the return of Logan Prime, not Old Man Logan or his daughter Laurel. And we have at least a partial confirmation that the Fantastic Four is going to come back in some form. A few years ago, they killed off Richard and Sue, so their kids are in space somewhere. We have the Human Torch and the Thing in New York discussing their own legacy. So there's some interesting stuff going on, but what to me was the worst part of this were the new heroes like Falcon, Lady Thor, and Ironheart. And the reason was that their characters don't have a sense of adulthood. You don't feel a sense of responsibility with what they're doing. They don't have a sense of humanity when they're written. They're kind of written like sitcom characters. They're written kind of zany, and I feel it kind of undermines having the new characters as our primary point, because they're in the story working to stop Loki from acquiring some device from S.H.I.E.L.D., and the characters are really zany, where everyone else is kind of somber and discussing how things are changing and how do they reflect in the world, how do they react to things. And it's kind of disappointing that they get put as the comic relief. And I feel like the writing in their story arcs have been kind of poor, and it's one of the reasons there's been so much pushback and backlash from these characters. So I would say that it's a good start. If you wanted the old characters back, you're getting teased with some of that stuff. We get traditional insane Deadpool. We get traditional somber raging Logan. So it's really good in that aspect, but then at the same time you're still dealing with the zanier new characters that haven't been really developed well and aren't well executed. So this gets me, I would give this like a 3 out of 5. It's definitely worth it because it's like $6 and it's like 50 pages. This is at least a half-hour read, which most comic book issues are like a 10-minute read at most. All right.